Well, good evening. Hope everybody can hear me. First time I tried to stream live on 3 channels, so I hope this will work for my first try. And today I want to paint George Floyd. So Black Lives Matter is the current theme. So the most of the guys who knows me know that normally I don't paint some political stuff, but these days I think it's a person which will change some social states and some behaviors on the American government. So, and I think it's an honor for me that I can paint him, and especially for the day, which was a funeral day of him, and yeah, this is my honor to him, and I hope you like that. So as you see here on the screen currently, I just sketched him on a piece of canvas and made a foundation with acrylics, and in the upper right corner you see that I made the sketch digitally on my tablet. So, and this was the preparation for the painting. So, and today I want to paint with oil colors. As most of the people know, normally I prepare my palette, and so I want to show you these. Just we have a quick run over that. So let me tell you what I have here. So that's Hooker's green here on the left. Then I have citron lemon. Then I have nipple yellow, orange, cadmium red. No, this is vermilion. This is cadmium red. This is quinacron rose. This is magenta, and this is violet, transparent. On the right side, we have burnt sienna. We have raw umber, we have burnt umber, we have ultramarine blue. I have a light warm gray, and I have a dark cold gray prepared. So, and what I see now, I missed my white. So I have to pick up my white color. So this is useful, and to do that, so just a second, and now I do some big things on white. So that's the white color here on the right, on the left side here. So okay, I want to paint that a bit loose. So I have a small photo for me here, though, that I have some that I have for me to paint a better visual reference for all these shadows and so on. And that on the canvas it's just a rough sketch of the main dark areas. So let's start it, I think. So yeah, right. So then I switch on the screen for now, so that I see what's going on. All right. So if everything happens, so the sound is bad, or I don't know, the builder's stucking or something like that, please leave me a message in the chat. So several times I have a look over there, and I hope this will work. So, all right. Fine, let's start it. So first I want to paint some midtones on his face, which is placed on here. And I have a midtone over here in this area. As you see, that didn't matter what where the color is. Sometimes I'll let it stand here, and maybe we will see later a bit of blue over there, or I don't know. This will be maybe for me it's a surprise to do that. And every time when I started painting, it's a surprise for me. what it brings to me and how it leads me to a result I like. So okay, I'm starting now to mix a slightly warm brownish color. This will be mid-tone for that. Bit of red in it. And as a medium, I use alkyd, which helps me that the color is drying quicker than normal, and so that I can finish it until the end of the week. And just find out the basic areas I want to paint in a mid-tone, and getting more roughly later. Oh. These are not really much on this face. It's obviously interesting that only one photo from this guy existing in the net, so I don't know where it pans from, but all these paintings are from all the other artists made from, they're taking this picture. So I do the same, and I was just surprised when I made my research for this guy. And yeah, so last Saturday I was on an event from livestream which is a live streaming event here in Munich, and established in the Lindbaumstraße 122. And so I painted there live during the DJs playing music live, and dancers and singers were live on too, though. And so we discussed later, and he asked me, maybe it's possible that you're painting this guy next weekend until next Saturday. And I said, yes, of course, why not? It's a good idea. And so this will be available to for these people. They are watching the stream next Saturday, which is starting at 9 p.m. or 21 hour Middle European time. So I'd be glad that you're participating and listen and yeah, have fun, watch these live stream, and it was nice. And maybe you will get this painting and you can bid for it, and yeah, and the best price will get it as a present. So that's the idea behind. So normally this raw umber is more transparent, so will use it more so that it's shining, the basic or the foundation color will be shining through, just to giving it more depth. You see here change the brush. I use here some obviously not a typically skin color like blue. So I'm using that here on the dark values now. It's so ultramarine is also transparent by nature, so that's setting up some colors where soaked by the background and with the canvas. It's doing that here on some partial places, just randomly, and but in the area where face in the shadow or parts from the face are really dark in the dark shadow. When I use that, and maybe I'm using that on the shirt too here. Maybe you can see that this little, there's a pattern here on the background which I made with a paper towel until the color is under the color was wet. So that gives a nice structure, and I think so. Some of these structures will be visible later on. So. It's for me also pretty new to sit on while I'm painting, because normally I stand but just to have a better presentation, so I sit so you can see everything, and the camera isn't in or my body isn't in the way or in front of the lenses, so you should see more the painting than my arm, my head, or my nose, or something like that. So that's not so interesting, I guess. All right. I think it's always for me it's the hardest part to start the painting while I had made already a sketch for it, and then not to lose the expression and the similarity of the face. This is mostly for me at the beginning the most problematic part, but then after a while I see that everything is in place, so then I can get more relaxed and free in my brushstroke. But this is also a problem, because when I'm getting too exact or too not a painting, it's more than a drawing at the first stage, and I have to wait later on that the color is getting dried, so that I don't have to smudge all the colors and not to lose the brilliancy of the pigments. So, and yeah, that's a challenge for me always. So, which is in painting in acrylic, it's much easier. So because the colors are drying faster, so that you are on a certain part on the face, you come back later. So that's okay. So it's mostly dry, and you can paint over it without mixing the colors in a way that that you won't. And of course, it's also a challenge to be focused on what I'm doing here and talking. This is, but it brings fun. I like that. It's challenging to me. Let's see what the next hour will bring here, what the result will be for the day, and what you were saying for that. That's that's also interesting to me. So give me feedback, and like that, or what I can improve, or maybe it's what you're missing, or you have some questions, or whatever you like to know. Feel free, ask me. So I hope the picture isn't bright enough so you see everything. So on my screen here it looks good, but nobody knows how it looks, or I don't know how it looks really outside and on the live stream currently. So that's maybe something to improve, or last time I played music, and after that the video was blocked due to some copyright license or issues or something like that, which is really annoying because everything was okay, but I think YouTube makes them a little bit more restrictive, and I don't know what the matter was really. So I deleted all the background music, and just to avoid these problems again, so I have currently no music, so hope it's not too boring only to listen to look at my paint strokes without any comments from me. Sometimes I have to stand up just to have a look on that, what I'm doing here, because I'm sitting really close to that. And just to see the corrections I have to do before it's getting too bad. Right, so let's see here. This way I don't use any black, which maybe some people think that obviously painting a dark skin tone should use black or so, but it's not really necessary. Yeah, so you can mix really dark tones with brown, and in this special way I'm using burnt umber and ultramarine blue, and sometimes I'm using a bit red too, but it's dark enough. I don't use any because black, it's making that too, yeah, it's too dead. It's a dead color, I think. So it's or you have to have some special effects for that. Then it's okay to use that. But in this way, my idea, I wasn't that what I want to do. So and just want to paint it in my style. It's more loosely and let the color come together. I can use much more a brighter violet. Just play around and get this idea. Okay. Right. is to see that on certain places I mix the colors directly with each other. So just to make a special transition here. And if I think that the contrast is too much, I just mix it with the color in the nearest neighbor, so that here on the side on the wrong, I did take too much white in the color, so that's or maybe would be a problem. But I try to fix it anyway. I'll let it be for a while, and coming later on that place. Maybe I have to wait until it's dry, and then I can overpaint it and to make a correction. But it's not the problem for the moment. So I'm just finding all my necessary values I want to place. Now that I'm here in my little home studio. Normally I have a bigger one, and but there is no internet connectivity, so I have to do that here, the live stream here at home. I only can paint small formats here. But it works. For now it works. Okay. A little greenish tone, and depending on that, what I have here on the background, which is a little green value, and using that on the skin tone too, and just to pick this color up and use it on some points here on the face again. So only to repeat that and make it or bind each color's background and foreground a bit closer together, than instead of painting some oil over a dead background. I just repeat or try to repeat the color in the face. So it makes it easier for me that I can draw outside face like this one here. Just loosen up the contours. And normally I do that when in the lights, where the light is coming in, that you don't see the contours. And sometimes I'm practicing that in drawing only with lines, so that the lines are really thin or not visible or really uninterrupted. And make thicker lines, or focusing on that special part on the face I'm planning for. And yeah, this is I also do here with try to do with painting. And maybe this transition here, and then here from the chin to the neck will be a bit must be corrected now. It's just not that way I should be, but yeah, I will fix it later. And sometimes I like it to paint with gray, so it's also a nice color to do some transitions. Okay, have a look again. Yeah, it comes that way I like. And darker here. Here they are around the lips. Here there's a white line. I'm putting that here right now so that just as a like a drawing, I'm using that here for the moment, just to see where I have my lines to follow. And but I think this will be destroyed later, so that it's not here. This will be not too sharp, and I think you know what I mean. So that's so that if you see on the reference photo, you see that normally the eyes are really not really visible. So it's a dark area where you know that where the pupils are, and the white of the eye, but it's normally not really white. So it's I'm just setting up these lighter tones only for my guideline. Later it will be darkened, so like in a brownish way. I think this is a bit too too bright now, but it doesn't matter, you can correct that. And this is what I like on oil. You're wrong, correct it, try it again, correct it if you're wrong. I can always repeating this time after time because it's so, this brings so much fun. And I don't understand why most of the people are so afraid about oil colors. Most of them have problems with the smelling, or that you have to use a solvent to work with, and this is of course sure the reason, but you're using that in a room where you can open the window, and I think these are problems you can solve if you are interested in painting with oil. So don't be afraid. Buy some basic colors. Maybe you need eight or I don't know, maybe 8 colors you need just to start. Or sometimes if you're using a special palette called shwon palette, you only need yellow ochre, black, white, and cadmium red. This is all you need, and which brings the charm with that you have to mix the colors by your own and to learn how to mix skin colors by simple 4 colors. So that's pretty amazing. I like that, and sometimes I'm doing these exercises only to challenge myself. How would I solve this problem without using my standard colors I normally use? So it gives me a fresh view on everything I'm doing. So it tends to get a face. And maybe sometimes sometimes I repeat stuff which is for me important, that when I'm painting, I'm normally not thinking about what I'm currently painting, so especially the features, so that I'm painting a nose, an eye, or a mouth, or lips. I only think or look for the shapes and to figure out the right form of that shape, and then I decide for a color and go for it. And sometimes I'm right, sometimes I'm not. I have to change the corrections because I mixed the wrong color, a bad hue or so, or not the right value, and so I have to correct that and do it again. Like the lips here, they really has really huge lips. This is unbelievable, really. Full lips, which is really not easy. And overdo it like a caricature. I don't know how to pronounce it in English. But you know what I mean. I hope. So that's and change the form, change the value, correct it, and again. Try, improve, repeat. All right. So for now, it's it looks, for the first color sketch, it looks not so bad at the moment. I think what I now see is this dark has to be a bit darker, and of course this area here has to be darker too. But just to see that the nose, when it comes in this area, because it's a really a wide nose and a short one, yeah, and related to his face, so, which is typically for this ethnic that the form of the nose and the length of the nose, and it describes a special curve. So I have to paint this area now, just to get a better impression of the volume and the perspective of the face. So choosing a darker value and not too dark, because it's not dark. This area is not darker than this area here. It's going over that. It's described this form here on the forehead. It's coming here, and then it's just a smooth transition in this area. So and here too. You see, here I used a bit too much, too a bright and light color. So this comes up to a problem too. So for now, I have these. Paint these area here, and as you see, I'm painting now for, I don't know, 40 minutes, and it's not really a sprint for me, never. So so painting takes time for me, especially. Some others are quicker, and maybe they are more experience, or depends on their painting style, which help them to be faster. But this not work to me. So now I'm correcting this line here, this shape here from the nose up, because it's really thin on this area. This area is really not wide. It's really small. I'm doing this here. And increasing the eye sockets a bit, just to get here this back of the nose a bit smaller. So then this will be the right form. And here too, we have also here a darker value. Just comes around the eye here, just to describe the form. Now it's looked on the, I do it a bit more reddish here, brown. I'm using a paper palette, by the way, so it helps me to clean up my workspace easily, and especially when I'm doing such paintings here, like for demonstration. On my studio, I have a really fixed palette, so which is more professional, and I can clean it easily with some razor blades and keep it clean. And I don't have to throw any stuff in the trash, so which is so for the for reducing all this critical stuff you normally has to bring to deponey. Right. See here this form here, and You can see now I'm going over some colors I already painted, and the blue here is now slightly dry so that it doesn't smear with the overlaying color, and especially when I'm using some pressure on the brush. So this is really, then I'm sure that everything is okay. I can go further on this area and establish new colors and maybe some darker tones, or they look darker, and let some of these back underlaying colors, I let it stay. So that's gives a special dynamic expression. That's my style. So all right, let's see here. We have here more area under his left eye. Just placing the pupils, or the volume, or the color of the pupil is not too exact, so just place some spots on there. They are loosened up anyway, so because I'm going over and over it, and yeah, so comparing to the photo I have here, I'm not really happy now with these area here. It's not really nice. I have to correct it. Like, all right. Okay. And for there's here on this area we have also a shadow line. So I'm don't want to draw a line. So I'm always I'm drawing shape just to see where this line goes up, and it has to be correct, really, in perfection. This is not the reason. You have to only see where this is placed, and yeah, and find out the right value you want to place for. And so you have later on you have a pretty nice guideline if you're coming to the second stage, and or maybe on the last stage. It depends on how perfect you figure out on the first draft. You figure out the shapes and the form, and what you have to correct. All right, so that's I can see that here on that area. So we have here much darker here. This is a much darker area normally. So I'm going with using more blue. So I stood up, by the way. So that's I feel it give me a bit more comfortable when I'm standing, and so I try to do that while I'm standing here. So I'm just painting out of the face, getting more free here on this part. Don't be afraid to go outside. So you can go further. You can go from the background into the face again, just to correct these lines, or you're going from the edge here of the face directly in the background. So when you want to have a sharp edge, so But this is coming along, so I think that, yeah, this comes in that way I like. And this also is a bit darker here. As you see, I use really little numbers of colors here, and getting in the right coloring for me. Not too fancy, but I think that's not in. It's not. Should be a serious painting, not a joke or so, and especially not on this guy here. All right, there's a bit more here. The area here is a bit darker, and of course here this area too is now too dominant, so I have to correct that a bit. So maybe I'm using, yeah, maybe I'm using a bit of the bluish stuff. Using another brush here. Using blue, ultramarine blue, and a bit of the gray tone. Not of a white, so just by the way, in this gray is white already mixed in, so, and I like this here a bit. And here too, because here we have this side we have a bit more light here on this. This we have to describe, and of course here too on the lips. So there's also, you can use here a blue color for the lips here, and looking for the places in the face where we can maybe use this color I currently mixed on, where I can place it and it makes sense to me. Sometimes it's really a small spot, and maybe I have to mix a bit more darker gray in it, a colder one, but still bluish. Bit too, get a bit more from this darker. Just try forth and back until you find the right value. Mixing a color is fun. At my starting time, I really tried to use the colors as they come along, but painting more and more, you learn that it's really interesting that you're mixing your colors, and so that I have some colors I mix for my own. So I'm prepare that, fill some tubes within, so I can have it later on for my paintings. So this is really helpful, and some things are repeatable for you, and you don't every time you have to think about that, because you have your own palette now, and this really helps you to improve your work. Yeah, it's getting better and better. So I'm placing some colors here and there, only to with a thought for later that if the color is dry, I can use these spots just to overpaint it and let some fragments shining through. This is the idea behind. Yeah, and okay, it's not alla prima. Of course, it is not. It cannot be, and I'm not the guy to do that. It wasn't never ever a thought of mine that I'm painting alla prima. Maybe this would be a challenge for myself to do that in the future a bit more. Maybe this will help my normal painting style again, and so I'm developing, yeah. So that's always I think it's always that the thing we have to do it during our lifetime. So you know something, and you have to maybe improve it, or maybe you're happy with that. Then you're looking for a new target and some new stuff which are you interested in, and then start. Don't think. Don't overplan it. Just do it, and let's see how it changes your style or your behavior or something. It doesn't matter what's the reason is. It's not only compared to painting. I think it's a common thing. Yeah. So if you're programming, or if you're writing, if you're making music, or experiment, figure out maybe you can do some things better. Maybe it was a wrong decision and you go back. So that's always supporting yourself. All right. So now we come back here. So it is just to see here. This is maybe, yes, this is maybe a good way here to do that now. And of course we have here also a lighter area here on the cheek. So here, this way here. It's now like a peach color, and it doesn't matter. It's a black face, and you can use nearly every color, and don't lose the impression that it's a face of a black man. So it or on the, if you see that on his nose, it's more, if you go closer to the painting, you can see that the nose is getting more reddish or orangey, and so you can use that. You can mix this color a bit more, use a bit more vermilion in that, and using a bit orange, and just to smooth it up, you can use a bit of light gray. I normally use a bit of light gray. Or if it's too much, you can correct it with a bit of maple yellow. So, and then you see, oh, okay, I have to, using here these kinds here, a bit more reddish, getting more reddish value here. Do that, or two. So, and looking where is this color could be 2. I have here some here on this ear is a line here, a bit of them, so we can use it space here and yeah, and let's see where we figure out all these colors again. So maybe it could be a bit more red. So then I'm using that and figure out the areas where I want to use this color. On the eyes, as you see, I try to draw not a line. I only want to shape, going around with shapes and colors, and finally it comes to that line. Yeah. So, but you never ever draw the line over that, which makes this, of course, more interesting. And only you placing shapes by dark and high, by darks and lights, you can correct all these things. And as you see here in the middle here, and this is now, looks like one color. It's too massive for now, so I want to see that the rest of the nose here is getting a bit lighter than the color here I already used. So I'm going in the color I already used here and lighten it up, not with some white, only using light gray here. Just mix the color and go over. That's coming along. All right. And for now here, this area here on the chin here, I think it's also could be a bit darker than it is. So I have to clean more. I've used the, I think I used the blue brush I already had in use. And coming over and mixing a really dark color now. Using burnt umber, ultramarine blue. Getting now darker. And in this case, I'm using a bit of violet. To get it dark enough. So, and then be brave and place that here on that area. You can paint it in the shirt because it doesn't matter. And this color we have maybe here on this move here in the face too, on this area here. So they are partially there, as you see them, colors from the background, which is here. This color here is from the background. I never touched with the brush and paint over with oil colors. And maybe it will be the result for later, but I'm not sure for the moment. But you see that I'm just jumping around the face and placing some marks which are important, just not to lose the similarity of this face, what you already drawn before. And yeah, go around where I also just the dark place here is under the nose here. So just place one small area here and come on until these white you already marked on this on the mouth. So and go again. Where are here? You have some more darks here. Do it. Place it here along. That's it. All right. and the area where the upper lip and the lower lip come together, there we have some also some darker areas where we have to divide these lips here in with a shape. Go in and do that. Yeah, it comes. Finally, it's really coming as I like. So for now, I have to open the upper area on the upper head here. I see them. I want to also have here a form, which is describing of the head form. It helps me, and this is necessary to figure out where the light is coming on, that the face is getting a volume, and you describe the masses, the biggest masses in the face, and which is here in this special way. It's here, of course, the form here on the, directly where the hair is coming on. This is the form here in this area and here, and of course here the lips, the upper lip here is really dominant in the face. Yeah, you can see that really exactly, and here on the cheek here, there's also it describes the form of the cheek. So follow it. Maybe you do really follow the form with your brush slightly, not too much pressure on it, to avoid to mix the colors. They are already painted on the surface, so and so now we reduce here the line. You see here over his right eyebrow, we only have here a small part which is really highlighted, and then it comes back, and we have, on the course, we have here also a form which is describing here the forehead. We painting these too. Only value, I try to find the right value, not too bright because it's not the brightest point in the face. This is maybe a part here of the nose. This is obviously a part of the lips, and some small areas here over the eyebrows, and here on the start from the hair we have also really a highlight, but the rest is really medium to dark. So figure out the right colors and values, by the way. So and this area here, this blue here on his lips, is already the blue I painted when I made the background. So this is not an oil color currently. It's only the blue which I have used for destructing the white canvas. So only that I have a color underneath. It helps me to find the right values for the face. So, all right. So what's next? So, okay. Yeah, take this. Look in here on this mirror here on this eye. Here on the nose, it's getting in this area, describing more the form of the nose, this shadow line here. And of course of this area too, coming here along. That's the point. Okay, so let's figure out the point or the part here of the lips. See what kind of color we use here. I want to use more magenta here in this way. So as you see, it's really saturated color, so I want to desaturate it using a gray tone for that, and maybe a bit darker. And I can use slightly a bit of greenish, so that it's a color I want to use here for the lower lip here, from just to describe the shadow on the lip here. All right. It's now too, the white is, the highlight is too wet now, so that's not a good idea, but I let it be. I just have a plan on how to color it when it's dry, and I use the same color here just to describe a part of the upper lip. You see that I'm painting over this white contour line I just put in, and maybe I'm do a bit more reddish here on that. So for this here area, so it just has to be a bit lighter. Just a bit, not too much. This part, and of course here we have, this could be really a bit more. Can have a lighter value here on this. Okay. So, and now what we do with the shirt. I'll let it now be here on the face for the moment, and just thinking about what color the shirt should have. Should I use a green, which will be nice? I think in the original he used a black and a gray shirt, but this is not what I want to paint it. So I think I use a green, and so I mix slightly, only using the basic green color here I have on my palette. Maybe I'm change it later on the values, but for now I start to just put the green on that, just right out of the tube. It's transparent, which is nice. So paint over the background and go over it, and it's just an idea. So let's paint it more dynamically. So using the brush on the really not using the brush this way instead of this way. I think this gives you more the flexibility to use your arm to paint the form instead of using it like a pencil or so. And sometimes when I see that I'm tending to getting too exact, or losing my fresh and dynamically brush strokes, so I see that and I just make a step back and say, okay, good, I have to change only change the position of the brush in your hand. So that's this helps you really to getting looser. As you see, it's quite easy, and so maybe you can use it here in that way. Just comes here to the end here on the line, and see, let's imagine that the light is coming not on, like on the photo, it's coming more from top and front. I'm gonna set here some highlights on the shirt, which is maybe it has to be in conjunction to the light in his face. So I just setting some small highlights then later on with maybe you can use a use that as a highlight. The green I already used here, and you see the brush, only in this area the strokes from the charcoal, which I has fixed, by the way, so that it's not smearing and it's smudging all the and yeah, and smudging the colors. So maybe this is your decision that you want to paint this area. This is the highest green or the lightest green you want to use. Then you have to go over there and on some parts to use a darker green, which is now, as you see, the green is, by the way, transparent too, which the most of the colors are. So you have to get it more opaque. So you can use here in this way. Maybe you're using a bit of brown in form of burnt umber. So you always had a greenish value, and don't use too much from this brown, but the color is getting more opaque, so you can go over it and fix it, yeah, or setting some rough shadow lines. Like this way here. So for later, this will be I have prepared already a graffiti for that. It will be coming over there, which is the hashtag Black Lives Matter will be here. And I'm not sure that I make I want to plan making a circle with a fist in it. So for the symbol for Black Power. I'm not sure. Maybe I have some days to think over that, and yeah, we will see. It's but the graffiti, this is fixed. This I will do. But this will be made with spray paint. So, and so it will not be painted. So you have a, in this way we have a combination by a classical oil painting and the mix of acrylics. So and you see here when you're mixing in titanium white, though the transparency of the green color is lost. So be careful with what you do it and where you do it. Just on small areas. Don't overdo it. So, okay. So it's coming. Okay, so you see here, now I'm looking at the background. Maybe I'm using no, I don't want to use a blue background. Maybe I'm using a slightly yellowish one. Maybe I hope it gets not getting so colorful now. Just try it out. So it's not a risk, because when I'm wrong, I can change it anyway. So this way I'm using lemon. And a bit of orange. It's getting such a slightly peachy color, but a bit more yellow on it. All right, so and then a lot of liquid medium, and then I'm going here over the face, and maybe I'm using this as a contour line here, and starting here on the hair. And you can, this is also nice if you're going on the other side where the light is. So you can use this yellow, and you start the yellow here and paint it out, and then paint it in again, and just to give him an expression of dynamic. So if it's too much, you can, of course, you can correct it, and or you can change the hue of this yellow. By the way, maybe you're using some yellow ochre, which is it's warmer than this one here. This is a cold looking yellow, and yeah, and you see I'm now describing with a background. I describe the form of the ear, which I not really paint already. So but it's enough to find the expression. And if you are brave, really brave, so you use you're going over there using a really bright yellow, and just on one place, just to have a solid, opaque, shiny color. So you can use that later, play with it. And now in conjunction to the green here, you see that this yellow looks greenish, but it isn't really greenish. It's yellow, and but it has a touch on the green side, and so be play with or experiment with that, and maybe using, sometimes you're using a color which you normally not use, just to getting out of your comfort zone and and as I said, beginning, improve yourself. So this is nice. So I look at the clock, so it's already 10. So I think so we're coming slightly to the end, and I hope that I can fix it and finish it until Saturday and during the session. So we have 3 hours. I hope so that maybe it will come to an end. I want to prepare of course the graffiti for that, and spray it on, and maybe I find the time to continue the current painting, so that on Saturday I came really to the end, so that the person who get the highest bid on that. So, and I want to remind you for that, come on next Saturday. We stream unique, and so you will see that here live when I'm painting that live to the end, seeing all these DJs and dancers and singers, and come on and enjoy, have fun. I hope you like that, what you see this evening, and what I'm able to show you, and yeah, and for this way I want to say see you next time, and and subscribe my channel on YouTube if you like. Follow me, push the bell so that you get informed when I'm publishing new videos, and enjoy the week. Hopefully we see us at Saturday, and until next time, have a good time, God bless you, and bye bye.